Good morning, one and all. I welcome all the MPCS second year students to the online classes. The summary of last lecture that we have discussed about Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit, Fraunhofer diffraction due to circular aperture. So next topic in this first part, that is Fraunhofer diffraction due to Fraunhofer diffraction due to double slit. So this is also very important topic in this unit, long question. So two important long questions in the first part of this unit 4. One is Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. Second one is double slit. Already we have discussed one more topic, that is Fraunhofer diffraction due to circular aperture, but that is for short question. This is for long question. Just listen carefully. So our topic is about double slit. So this arrangement representing double slit whose width is small e. The width of the two slits here I am representing by small e. Let us imagine one plane wavefront. One plane wavefront is incidenting on this two slits. Generally, to incident plane wavefront on the slit, first of all we have to draw a convex lens to focus the incident rays on the two slits. Let the name of the first slit be S1, name of the second slit be S2. Is that clear? Right. So the width of the slit is small e, the width of this slit is also small e. Therefore, the distance between the center of the first slit to center of the second slit will be how much? This is e by 2. If it is small e, this will be small e by 2. E by 2, this is also small e by 2. E by 2 plus e by 2 becomes e, and the opaque, this distance here I am representing by small d. So e by 2, small d and e by 2. That gives what? E plus d. So e plus d is the distance between the center to center of the two slits, where small d is the opaque distance. Small d is known as opaque distance. Clear? Let us imagine here we are having a monochromatic source of light, and the light coming from monochromatic source is incidenting on this convex lens. Whenever light rays are incidenting or passing through a lens, the incident rays will be refracted. So this is a collimating lens. The incident rays becomes parallel. It makes the incident rays becomes parallel. So these rays are finally incidenting on this double slit. The first slit here I am representing, this slit I am representing by S1, this slit I am representing by S2. The distance between the two slits here I am representing by small e plus d. Width of each slit equal to small e, and opaque distance is small d. Therefore, center to center will be e plus d. So the rays which are passing through this these two slits, if they are normal to the given double slits, definitely the normal rays will be focused at the center of the screen. The normal rays, these are known as normal rays. The normal rays are perpendicular to the lens, are focused by the convex lens at the middle of the screen. This is the position of the screen. This is the position of the screen. This is the position of the screen. So the rays which are traveling parallel to the or normal to the slit are focused at the middle of the screen. So let this is the middle point of the screen. Always we have to represent rays by arrowheads. Rays by arrowheads. So diagrams are very important actually. So for diagrams you will get marks. So this is optics part. So diagrams are definitely very important. And you have to use pencil only. Okay. Let the name of the middle point be P naught. P naught. Okay. The rays which are deviating through an angle theta will be focused at P1 by the convex lens. So the rays which are traveling normal to the slits are focused at the middle of the screen, that I am representing by some P naught, and the rays which are traveling which are deviating through an angle theta, will be focused by the lens at P1. So these are the diffractor rays which are deviating through how much angle with the incident direction theta. If it is theta, this is also equal to theta. Let the position of the image be P1. This is the center of the screen, P0. This is the position of the screen. Okay. This is screen. Is it clear? We have to represent a ray of lights by arrowheads. So this is the way to represent ray of lights. Is that clear? Right. So I have considered a double slit whose individual widths are small e, and the slits, name of the slits be S1 and S2. The distance between the two slits here I am representing by E plus D, and the light rays which are passing through these slits, if they are traveling normal to the slits, they are focused by the lens at P naught, forms image at P naught. Definitely will be bright fringe only. The rays which are deviating through an angle theta will be focused at P1. I want to calculate the path difference between the two rays who are deviating through an angle theta. Every time we are calculating path difference between the diffractor rays, not normal rays. So I want to calculate path difference between these two rays. For that we have to draw a normal. Is that clear? Let the name of the normal be, let this is A, this be B, this be C. AC be a normal which is drawn on BC. So from the diagram it is clear that from these 2 points the rays are traveling equal distances, equal intervals of time. There is no path difference from A and C. Then what will be the path difference between these two rays? That is BC. BC is the extra distance traveled by the second ray when compared to the first ray. I want to calculate path difference. So from triangle ABC, according to geometrical properties, if these angles are theta, this angle also equal to theta. Here I am considering this is a right angle triangle. My aim to calculate BC value, that is path difference. For that here I am considering this triangle. Sin theta is equal to opposite side of theta is BC by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse means opposite of 90 degrees. That is S1 and S2. S1, S2. Clear? Instead of ABC, you can represent S1, S2, So I want to calculate S2C. So sin theta is equal to opposite side is S2C. Opposite side is S2C. hypotenuse is S1 and S2. So I want to calculate S2C. So S2C is equal to S1 S2 into sin theta. S2C is nothing but that is the path difference between the two rays. So this is nothing but path difference. Therefore finally I have calculated path difference between the two rays. What is the value of S1 S2? S1 S2 represent, that is the distance between the center to center of the two slits, which is equal to how much? E plus D. E plus D into sin theta. I have calculated the path difference between the two rays as E plus D sin theta. My next aim is to calculate phase difference. Phase difference. How do we calculate phase difference? Whenever we are having path difference, there is a relation between phase difference and path difference. That is 2 pi by lambda into path difference. Phase difference always equal to 2 pi by lambda into path difference. So this is the formula generally I am using. This is equation number 2. Substitute equation 1 in equation 2. Substitute. Generally phase difference is represented by delta in 2. It is represented by delta. Therefore the phase difference between these two rays I want to find out. That is delta is equal to 2 pi by lambda into, what is the path difference here? Already I have calculated path difference as E plus D sin theta. E plus D sin theta. This is phase difference. Phase difference is equal to 2 pi by lambda into E plus D sin theta. Let this is equation number 3. Let us assume this is pi of E plus D sin theta. Here I am assuming as by lambda as beta. This value is also very important. So pi of, I am assuming pi of E plus D sin theta by lambda as beta. Let this is equation number 4. So here I am finding the phase difference in terms of beta. That is, substitute equation 4 in equation 3. So the phase difference between the two rays becomes like this. That is, this already equal to beta. So finally it becomes 2 beta. Let this is equation number 5. Remember, what is the phase difference between the two rays? This is first ray, this is second ray. What is the phase difference between the two rays? That I am assuming as delta. This phase difference also can be calculated by law of cosine. Phase difference also can be calculated. Can be calculated by cosine law. By law of cosine. So here I am considering one triangle. This is one ray. This is one diffracted ray. First wave. So each and every slit behaves like a single slit. So this is a diffracted ray which is produced due to this single slit. Already we have derived Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. Just remember, Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. There I have calculated the resultant amplitude due to single slit as R is equal to A sin alpha by alpha. So this is one wave which is coming from single slit. Let the amplitude of first wave here I am representing by A sin alpha by alpha. Each slit behaves like a single slit only. Then what are the amplitudes of these two waves that I am representing? A sin alpha by alpha. This is also having A sin alpha by alpha. Both are having two amplitudes, two same amplitudes. that is A sin alpha by alpha. Why I am indicating the amplitude of this wave and amplitude of this wave as A sin alpha by alpha? Because these two waves are coming from two single slits. So just remember Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. In that derivation, finally we have derived the resultant amplitude due to single slit as how much? A sin alpha by alpha. Okay. So I want these two amplitudes are superimposing on each other and forming a resultant image at P1. I want to calculate resultant amplitude at P1 due to these two amplitudes. What is the value of each and every amplitude of wave? A sin alpha by alpha, A sin alpha by alpha. That the resultant amplitude at P1 can also be calculated by using law of cosine. This I am writing like resultant amplitude also can be calculated by using law of cosine. What is law of cosine? This is one wave. This wave. I am representing this wave as A sin alpha by alpha. This is another wave. What is the amplitude of the second wave? That is A sin alpha by alpha. Both are superimposing on each other, forming a resultant wave at P1. This is the resultant amplitude. What is the phase difference? Phase nothing but angle. What is the phase difference between the first wave and second wave? That already I have calculated as delta. Delta is the phase difference between the two waves that I am representing as delta. Simply I am using law of cosine. So let this is some GHO. How do we calculate this resultant amplitude? What is law of cosine? GH square is equal to, I am writing cosine formula. GH square is equal to OG square plus OH square plus 2 into OG into OH into 2 into OG into OH into cos of the angle between OG and OH. What is the angle between OG and OH? That is delta. Cos delta. Is that clear? Just to substitute values in this cosine. GH value is equal to how much? R. So this is GH square. So it becomes R square. OG value is equal to how much? A sin alpha by alpha. A sin alpha by alpha. OH also A sin alpha by alpha. Plus 2 into OG again A sin alpha by alpha. Simply I am substituting values here. OH also A sin alpha by alpha into cos delta into cos of angle between the two amplitudes, that is delta. R square is equal to. So here I am taking A sin alpha by alpha as common, whole square as common. So what are the terms I made in the bracket? This becomes 1, this becomes 1. So already this becomes square, already I have taken as common. So this will be the third term, 2 into cos of angle between the two amplitudes. So 1 plus 1 becomes how much? 2. So R square is equal to A sin alpha by alpha whole square. This becomes 2 plus 2 cos delta. Here I am taking 2 as common. So R square is equal to A sin alpha by alpha whole square. I am taking 2 as common into 2. So this becomes 1 plus cos delta. 1 plus cos delta. Here I am using cos 2 theta formula. So R square is equal to A sin alpha by alpha whole square into 2 into 1 plus, here I am using cos 2 theta formula. What is cos 2 theta formula? 2 cos square theta minus 1. 2 cos square delta by 2 minus 1. Simply I have used cos 2 theta formula here. So this plus 1 minus 1 gets cancelled. This is 2. Already here we are having 2. 2 into 2 becomes 4. So the resultant amplitude due to double slit that I want to calculate, r square is equal to this already becomes this as 4 a sin alpha by alpha whole square into cos square delta by 2. Let this is equation number 6. Substitute this delta value in equation 6. Simply here I am substituting delta value, that is equation 3. Substitute equation, you can substitute beta value also. You can substitute equation 4 also, right? If you substitute equation 4, this becomes how much? Cos square, what is delta? This one, cos square delta by 2, 2 beta by 2. Simply I am substituting equation 5 in equation 6. So r square is equal to 4 into a sin alpha by alpha whole square cos square. What is the delta value in terms of beta? That is 2 beta. Simply I am substituting delta value here by 2. Already here we are having 2. 2 gets cancelled. So r square means square of the amplitude. Square of the amplitude gives what? Intensity. So the resultant intensity at P1. So this nothing but intensity. Square of amplitude always gives intensity. The resultant intensity at P1 is equal to I is equal to this also represent, this is amplitude square. A sin alpha by alpha, that is the amplitude of individual waves. And these amplitudes are squaring here. This total term represent amplitude only. When amplitude is squared, again we get intensity. That intensity here I am representing as some I naught. This I am representing as I naught into cos square beta. Just to see, let this is the equation number 7. Clear? Right. Just to see the equation number 7. So in equation 7, this I naught represents, that is the intensity of the light at P1 due to single slit. Just to remember, Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. What this is the first final formula during that single slit experiment. What is the second final formula? A sin alpha by alpha whole square. This is the second formula. So this term represents, that is the amplitude of the wave due to single slit. This is nothing but single slit. This intensity also due to single slit. So just remember, what is the condition to get a minima in case of single slit? For minima, when we are having only single slit, in such case, what is the condition for minima? For minima, in case of single slit, just remember, what is the condition for minima? That is, when alpha is equal to 0, we get minimum intensity. Just remember the Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. Alpha value pi e sin theta by not d, pi e sin theta, that is single slit experiment. Pi e sin theta by lambda is equal to 0. Or e sin theta, pi e sin, already we have assumed alpha is equal to 0. Sin alpha is equal to 0. This sin alpha is equal to 0. When sin alpha 0 means this total term becomes 0. So the total value becomes I naught becomes 0. So we get minimum. When sin alpha is equal to 0, when alpha is equal to plus or minus m pi. Where m is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Where alpha is equal to how much? pi e. Simply here I am writing only with respect to single slit, because this double slit, if you observe individually, this behaves like a single slit, this second slit also behaves like a single slit. So instead of alpha, here I am substituting pi e sin theta by lambda is equal to plus or minus m pi. Pi gets cancelled. So this is the general expression for single slit. Minima condition. Minima condition. So this term represents, that is a minimum. Coming to this term. What is this term? Important term. Cos square beta. Cos square beta term represents intensity due to double slits. Both the slits. Intensity due to double slits. The second term represents, that is due to double slits. This first term represents, that is due to single slit. The intensity is 4 times, becomes as 4 times. When we are having two slits, the intensity will be 4 times that of the single slit. Is that clear? So first term becomes, so this I naught becomes single slit. Second term represents, that is double slit. Clear? Right. Simultaneously we can observe this is due to single slit, this term represents double slit. So when this term becomes maximum, when this term becomes maximum, when this cos square beta is equal to 1. When cos square beta is equal to 1, when beta is equal to m pi. When beta is equal to m pi, where m is equal to again 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. You can give values for m, always you will get cos beta as 1 only. What is beta value? Let this is equation number 8. Actually these are the final expressions. Let this is equation number 8, let this is equation number 9. Substitute beta value here. That is equation 4. Substitute equation 4 in equation 9. What is beta value here? That is pi of e plus d sin theta whole divided by lambda is equal to m pi. 1 pi gets cancelled. So e plus d sin theta is equal to m lambda. This is due to double slit. Let this is equation number 10. This is due to single slit. This is due to double slit. Is that clear? Right. So when we get maximum, principal maximum when theta is equal to 0. When we get a minimum, when this value is equal to 0. So here I am going to draw the diffraction pattern on the screen due to double slit. So I have derived the final expression. Just to see the derivation part carefully. Equation 8 represents, that is due to single slit, and equation 10 represents, that is double slit. And we have drawn a diffraction pattern due to double slit. Already I have drawn diffraction pattern due to single slit. Just remember, diffraction pattern due to single slit. Diffraction pattern due to single slit like this. This is the curve which represents diffraction pattern due to double slit. That to maximas. When cos square beta equal to 1, the intensity becomes maximum. So this is intensity versus beta. So here I am drawing diffraction pattern due to this term. All are maximas only. This is at pi we are observing maxima. At pi, at 2 pi we are observing maxima. This is minus pi. This is minus 2 pi. So this is due to double slit. This is due to this cos square beta. This is due to this first term. This is due to this first term. These two diagrams are overlapping. So the resultant diffraction pattern, you have to draw this diagram. The resultant diffraction pattern along the screen will be the superposition of this pattern and this pattern. This is due to cos square beta. This is due to single slit, that is E sin theta is equal to m lambda. Due to these overlapping of these two patterns, the resultant diffraction patterns appears like this. So in the examination you should draw like this. This is maximum. This is somewhat amplitude must be less than. Clear? So symmetrical diagram. I am drawing this diagram. If you trace all these, you will get this type of diagram. So this diagram represents, that is the diffraction pattern due to double slit. So this is a very important topic for 20 marks. Fraunhofer diffraction due to double slit, Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit. Both the questions are very important for 20 marks. In the examination they will ask like, explain Fraunhofer diffraction due to double slit. You have to draw this diagram and derive its a final expression. In final expression, first term represent that is due to single slit, second term represent that is due to double slit. Due to these overlapping of these two patterns, the resultant pattern on the screen appears like this. Is that clear? Right. This is about Fraunhofer diffraction due to double slit. Already we have discussed Fraunhofer diffraction due to single slit, Fraunhofer diffraction due to circular aperture, Fraunhofer diffraction due to double slit. And we have to discuss one more condition, one more case, that is Fraunhofer diffraction due to N slits. Our next topic is about Fraunhofer diffraction due to N slits. That is also known as what? Diffraction grating. Fraunhofer diffraction due to N slits or diffraction grating, both are same. This is also one of the important long question in this part. So here I am going to discuss Fraunhofer diffraction due to N slits. I have explained single slit, I have explained double slit, I have explained circular aperture, and the fourth topic in this first part, that is Fraunhofer diffraction due to N slits. That I will explain in our next class. Until then, bye bye.